the Talk Birdie Semi with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn and Tour Pro Mark Allen, live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our great partners, Titleist, they're the clear number one ball in golf. FootJoy are the number one shoe and glove in golf. Driving a BMW is like hitting a perfect shot. Smooth, controlled and powerful. Ping, they'll help you play your best. The Golf Clearance Outlet beat everyone's prices. And Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, it's time for Talk Birdie Semi.
G'day everybody, welcome to the program. Not much happened this week, just the bloke on the PGA Tour won putting one-handed and the bloke on the DP World Tour won the biggest tournament of the year, chipping cross-handed. Nice to see you, Nick.
And you, mate. And don't forget on the LPGA, a Swedish golfer just taking the club way outside like Matt Wolff and Jim Furyk used to do.
Yeah, it's
crazy game.
It was incredible to watch. I ended up watching more than I should have. One, I was hoping Rory McIlroy would win. And I saw very early in the last round a chip backhanded from Matt Fitzpatrick. It was on the very first hole. He got a fly from the rough, chipped it over into an impossible spot. I thought he was dead. Chipped it backhanded to 1.5 feet. And I thought,
backhanded?
Wow. Yeah, backhand.
Yeah,
along. It was a pitch.
Oh, right.
It was more of a pitch than a chip.
He made a hell of an up and down on 18 as well.
Made an incredible up and down on 18, chipping cack-handed. So, look, but once you started sending through little bits and pieces of Adam Schenk and his putting on one of the windiest days we've ever seen in the history of the PGA Tour, I saw him hit a 5-iron from 130 yards at one point. And it was just a little chip. He just chipped it under the wind. That was the only shot he had. He was on an upslope, straight to the teeth.
And the wind still got it.
Wind still got it.
Still pumping.
Ended up short.
Yeah.
It was just a chip, but it was short.
Him and his caddy were talking about 130 yards, 6-iron. I don't think this is enough, which, you know, you never hear that on the PGA Tour, but it was pumping 40, 50 mile per hour winds.
This is playing way longer.
That is.
Way longer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get this there, honestly. 32.
I think it's the same.
Huh?
I think it could be a 5. Yeah, I don't think that can get there. Not right now. Not unless you like snap hook it.
You're gonna hand me a 5 then? Hand me a 5.
Yeah, I like 5.
Please. I mean, gosh.
What do we call it? 32.
I need a hit.
Maybe a touch off your left.
Can't hear you.
Pretty straight in. Maybe a touch off the left, if anything.
The actual number's 131, guys, and he's got 5-iron. That'll tell you a little bit about the wind velocity. That's just a little chippy one, and I tell you what, it's good if it's the number. Oh, no, it's short. Oh, that was a good shot, better than the result.
I did see on the 17th as well, he hit his second shot intentionally along the ground about 160 or 70 yards just to keep it out of the wind. It was the most fascinating shot I've seen.
And the golf course you'd never I want to play a lot of courses that I see on TV. I've got not much interest of going to see that one. But the interest was just how these players manoeuvred their way around. And it looked like, a 7 or 8 club wind?
I think so, yeah. And for a guy who earlier in the week he was putting one-handed and we saw, and then the crazy thing was he would just switch it up depending on how he was feeling. Every now and then he'd take a normal grip. Every now and then he'd put the shaft down on the steel. He actually had his forefinger down on the steel when he held the winning putt.
Yeah.
But then on the final day, he didn't putt one-handed because he said he knew the wind was too strong because the putter head would just go all over the place. So he thought he'd better put 2 hands on it. Have you ever heard that before?
No, never in my life.
The only guy I ever remember putting one-handed was back here in Australia, David Armstrong. Yes, that's right.
David Armstrong. I play a bit of golf with him, actually, these days. Yeah, I think I went to his 70th just the other week, so he's getting on. He doesn't putt one-handed anymore. But would you believe, Dave Armstrong, I always kid him that he played in a couple of British Opens, Dave Armstrong. I always kid him that he was leading a British Open putting one-handed, but that's kind of crossing 2 British Opens at once. He did make a birdie early in one British Open to be leading, and in the other British Open, he putted one-handed. He qualified well, And then in between the Monday of qualifying and the Thursday of the tournament, he got the yips. So
he qualified with two hands,
and
putted with one.
That's right.
Did he use his left or right hand?
He used left.
Left?
He used left.
That's
I don't know whether
unusual.
he had his right in the pocket or not, but he used left. But why was Adam Schenk putting with the right? I think I saw something that he felt like he could release it better.
Yeah. I mean, Tiger Woods always did the drill of the one-hand putting. He'd hit 50 putts right hand, 50 putts left hand. But with his right, he used to love to feel the toe just release on him.
Yeah.
And that's just another way you could do it with putting, I guess.
Yeah.
Certainly as a practice drill, I highly recommend it. Taking it out on the course, well, that's a whole other story.
To get within one of the lead.
Putting one-handed. Take a look at this. I don't remember ever seeing this. Left hand resting on his thigh, putting one-handed.
Schenk to scratch out a par.
Two hands on the putter that time there for Adam Schenk, so I guess just going with what feels comfortable at the time.
Gosh, I could talk about it for hours. I should write down all my putting thoughts so I could look back at them in 10 years and laugh at myself.
We've been following Adam Schenk from off the green on the front side, putted with one hand, but then had a short putt, putted with two hands. So has been working through it with the putter. So trying to see what he decides to do here on the 10th.
Yeah, it just doesn't look comfortable. He's backed off this putt twice. Very obvious to see that there are a lot of things going through Adam Schenk's head right there on the greens.
Let's see if Schenk can get comfortable over this for birdie.
Good on him. Backed off it 3 times and still makes the putt.
It's funny, everyone's a little bit different. The other bloke who we immortalised in this country as probably one of the best putters in the history of the game, Aaron Baddeley, his putting drill was the right hand in the pocket and left-handed putting over hours and hours and hours of putting with just that left hand. So it's amazing what different feels can create.
Absolutely. I know Rory sort of putts with more the back of the left hand. You can sort of see that follow through. He's pushing it through a bit,
No
Dave
doubt.
Stockton-ish. But I guess Baddeley, he was sort of famous for his routine and how he just kind of, after his last look, as his eyes returned to the ball, bang, he was going.
Yeah.
There was no hesitation, no nothing. So very, very impressive.
Well, it's funny you say that because I remember as a drill when I was battling with my distance control, I would just set up, look at the hole and putt while I was looking at a hole maybe 30 or 40 feet away.
There's a new sort of fad going around at the moment. It's called heads-up putting.
What's that?
You're looking at the hole, basically. Like anything, if you throw a ball to a target, you're looking at your target.
Yeah, that's right. Lawn bowls.
Lawn bowls. You're looking down there.
Yeah.
And there's studies have been done apparently by some guy, Mackenzie, I think's his last name in the US. I was listening to something the other day about it, where he says your feel for distance as you're looking at the target is just perfect. You know, you can get a sense of it. As you bring your eyes back to the ball, as soon as you look at the ball, you've lost some sort of feel for the distance. Now, the longer you stare, that feel just keeps diminishing and diminishing, which is why you don't want to keep staring at the ball. You watch the best putters, they look at the target, their eyes come back, and then they go pretty much immediately because they still have that sense of distance.
That's right.
Which is really important. And apparently, I mean, with this heads-up putting, they're talking about the fact that people mishit the ball a little bit because you're actually not looking at where the putter head is.
Yeah.
Apparently, that doesn't mean much. Mishit on
Well,
putts.
today's putters, it probably doesn't.
Doesn't mean a lot.
You got a big mallet.
Yes. For distance control, it's more about seeing and feeling rather than contact on the ball or the path of the strokes. Quite fascinating.
Yeah, well, I believe that.
Yeah.
It's, I'd like to see more of it, to tell you the truth. When I say see more of it, see more of this Mackenzie. I'd like to see more of what he is saying because it is the best drill in the business for your touch. And I always tell when people talk to me about putting, it is a bit of a memory game. And particularly chipping, because, you know, chipping, it's not advisable to do the Mackenzie look up at the target stuff.
We were talking about the chipping yips the other day. Weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
One-handed chipping and all that.
Yeah, that's right. So with chipping, I get people to have their practice strokes right next to the ball and look at the target.
Right, okay. I always get worried with that because I think I'm going to hit the ball.
You hit the ball, that's right. Well, you got to just a safe distance.
Just got to be further away.
Particularly just the short ones, maybe not the pitches, maybe just the really short ones where it's just, a tiny little movement.
Yeah.
Then I lean back on what I was saying before about the putting drill, to where if you're having trouble with your 30 and 40 footers, even your 20 footers, even your 10 footers, when you're putting is just on the practice range, just to look at the target. It becomes very easy. And I take that into the chipping.
Yeah.
But two or three practice strokes looking at the target, and then step straight in. I know where the target is. There's no more need to look. Club behind the ball and pull the trigger.
Beautiful.
Using exactly the same feel.
Love it.
That you just had. And that used to work really well for me.
Very good. Were you helping, because I know you were sort of helping out young Max Charles the other day, who qualified for the Queensland PGA coming up, the Monday qualifier, which is awesome. And I know you said he wants a bit of help with his short game. Is that something you were working on with him?
Yeah, well, that happened last week. We were in here, didn't he? He sent me the text message when we were in here. Well, I can report. In fact, I sent you something, Dan, just in case we're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
Max, I wasn't going there to give him any technique whatsoever. I thought we were just going to have a chat about chipping and pitching.
I've seen him swing and play. His technique's fantastic.
It's flawless. It's unbelievable. So I was just putting him in some situations and just getting a general gist of what he was doing. And then there was a couple where he just completely capitulated through the ball. And he looked at me as a decel.
Right. Okay.
And this is we'll show this in a second, Dan. So the decel was obvious, and then he looked at me and he goes, "That's what I've been doing." I said, "Well, that's just a decel."
Yeah.
I said, and then this is where you get credit, Nick. Unfortunately, you get a bit of credit, but
right.
I mean,
I'll take it.
No, well, you deserve it. So what we did is I told him that if Nick O'Hearn was here, he would tell you that your backswing length should match the follow through.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And then we did the same sort of rotation around this chipping green that we've got. And all he was trying to do was match it. And you know what it did?
Mm-hmm.
It formalised his acceleration through the ball.
Formalised his acceleration.
It formalised the acceleration.
I love that.
So, Max, it went from...
I think we got a new term here, Dan.
Acceleration was all over the joint, depending on the shot.
Sure.
But then once we kept on going round and round and round, and we went for about another 40 or 50 minutes, because he was trying because he was trying to match his backswing length to his new follow-through length, it formalised the acceleration.
Yeah.
And, you know, what we do in golf, we're trying to do the same thing over and over and over. With touch shots, well, because it's a different shot all the time, you haven't got a club for the distance, right?
Yeah.
What it does is it gives you something to do the same with. So, you know, with the 7-iron, for instance, we're trying to do the same thing pretty much all the time, unless it's a draw or a fade.
Yeah, sure.
Tiny little tweaks.
It's a full swing, basically.
But all of a sudden, now he's got something to try to do with his acceleration.
Nice.
And it didn't matter whether it was a little chip or a flop shot or a pitch or a, you know, cutty pitch or a little drawy runner. It didn't matter what sort of chip it was. All of a sudden, he had some repetition.
Love it.
And the repetition was formalised acceleration.
Very good. It's a good term. I like that, actually.
Well,
I might have to use it. I might have to use it.
I'll let you use it.
The other thing I love about that is what I find, if you get people almost focusing on follow-through position like you did, the ball gets in the way rather than them trying to hit the ball.
That's right.
My coach always used to say to me, he said, look, Nick, as you swing through, I don't want you to hit at the ball. I want you to swing through to your target.
That's it.
Okay, so that ball just get in the way. The body will keep moving and there will be no, you know, as you come in.
That's a good well, that's exactly what it feels like when you've got the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So
I know
anyway,
all about that for Box Hill.
So but maybe, did Dan put the chipping up
put
already?
the chipping up.
Yeah, let's have a look at Max's.
This is after.
This is Max's action.
I wish I'd done.
You didn't get it?
I didn't get it before. I wasn't going there to look at him for a technique. I was just going there just to have a chat with him.
No, I get it.
So I didn't do anything like that.
So for our audio viewers, we just got Max. Oh, look at that action. That's beautiful.
It's so easy.
Just keep.
Because I know when I showed you before the show, you loved the way that the preamble of actually making his swing.
Yeah. So the thing, if you're watching there, I mean, our audio listeners, what he's doing is basically he's shuffling his feet, the hands are moving, the body's moving, he's turning, he's looking, everything's athletic.
Yeah.
He's not stationary.
There's no pause.
Which is a killer. It's an absolute killer.
There's no freeze.
Brad Faxon talks a lot about it in putting. He calls it continual motion.
Yes.
And it's really good for putting, but it's so good for your chipping, your full swing as well, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever I'm over a ball, I'm continually moving. It's like a little dance, and I'm like waggling and doing everything. I don't want to pause.
It is like a little dance. Yeah, the second you freeze, folks, when you freeze, that gives your brain a chance to switch on and think about the silly stuff. And you start thinking about stuff. It only takes a split second and you're cooked.
Absolutely.
So is it paying off for Max? Has he gone?
Well, he led the qualifying. I think I said that's following through.
there it is. Yeah,
I've got the text message. He sent me 5 out of 5 up and downs.
Up and downs. Oh.
So 5 from 5 up and downs.
Brilliant.
And it changes the way that you end up playing, doesn't it? I mean, I know.
If your short game's good, you know it frees the rest of your game up.
Well, that's right. At Box Hill, for instance, right? Box Hill.
Yes.
Where I said I was going to shoot
Pro 64.
I was pretty sure I was going to shoot. I was pretty sure, things were just, everything was going to culminate into last Friday.
I heard the course was good. There was no rain.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Perfect day.
Brilliant.
Perfect day. Only 2 under 1. It's a tricky little course.
Gee, that's tough.
But on the very first hole, it's a short par 4.
Yes.
I've driven it perfect.
They put you off one, obviously, in a shotgun start.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Well, I run the Pro-Am, Nick.
I know.
Anyway, so I ripped a drive. I used to be able to knock it on that green with a 3-wood, by the way, but I hit a drive and I was 10 yards short.
It's okay.
Anyway, as I have my practice swings, I can feel the grain is right into me, right? It's a little bit damp. It's in the morning, there's a little bit of dew.
Yep.
And I've had my practice swings next to the ball, looking at the target.
Mm-hmm.
But I did notice that I was into the grain. I thought, right there and then, this would be a horrible way to start. If I duff the chip. All right. I thought, don't think of that. Stop it.
Did you back away?
No. I got straight into it.
Ooh.
And tried to recreate the chipping feel that I had, which was magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I took it back and went,
You didn't formalise the acceleration.
I didn't formalise my acceleration. I didn't think about anything that we have just been talking about. And it managed to dribble onto the front edge, right? It dribbled onto the front edge and I 2-putted for par. But at the end of the day, out of 12 possible up and downs, 2.
Ooh.
2 from 12.
Go. Well, you know what you need to work on.
Well, that's exactly right. 2 from 12. I mean, you end up making 10 from 12, and my 77 turns into a 69, and I win the Box Hill Pro-Am.
You win the Pro-Am, that's right.
But anyway, if you give yourself that many up and downs, I mean, you're going to struggle.
That's the beauty of golf. It's because we'll have all the right intentions. And again, you know this, and I've said this many times. The reason golf is so difficult is because we're hitting a stationary ball.
That's right.
Every other sport, the ball moves.
That is exactly
baseball,
right.
Football, basketball, you name it, all that sort of stuff.
Well, here's the thing: you can have the best intentions, can't you? You can have it. You can work away, and then just things get into your head. But you've just got to continually bash them away. Now, your masterclass last week.
I tell you, that's been a popular one. Mo O'Hearn.
Now, how's Mo O'Hearn going?
The problem with Mo O'Hearn is
there's a problem. What's happened?
Is Mr. O'Hearn. He needs to do some practice, and unfortunately, I haven't done any. I haven't,
Have you taken it on the course yet, or have you?
I took it on the course at Cathedral on the weekend. It wasn't good. The problem is there's a lot of rough up there at the moment. The course is in pristine shape. I mean, it's looking really good for the Invitational.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of rough. I think I lost 3 balls, which isn't, so there's 3 doubles.
3 doubles.
I just managed to break 80, so with the 3 doubles. So that was okay. The rest of it was okay, but it's funny how you go out there with the best intention. You go, right, Mo's going to be here, blah, blah, blah. But the first one doesn't go quite how you think. And then you go, right, well, maybe I should try something else.
Yeah.
We all do it.
Like everybody.
We all do it.
Like everyone.
What I used to do, whatever feel I had going into a round when I was playing a lot, when I was practicing a lot, I would always stick with that feel. I wouldn't change it. And I remember having some of the most strange feels playing tournaments. One year I was playing in Washington at the AT&T tournament at Congressional.
Yep.
And I went in with the weirdest feel where I was pulling the club a long way inside. What I felt I was pulling it a long way inside, very different from what I normally do.
Yeah.
And I finished third that week. And yet you put it on video and it wouldn't have looked any different.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Have you ever, had sort of that type of feel?
My two best finishes in Australia. So the 6th of the Australian Open, I was hitting it that bad. Mike Clayton took me down to have a look at Raymond Floyd.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
because I was telling him about my swing. I didn't know what to do. He just took me down.
Just
He goes, this bloke's
swing.
won all these majors and he's a superstar guy. Raymond was taking it way inside.
Yeah.
So I went back to the place where I was hitting balls. I thought, well, I'm just going to be Raymond Floyd. So I was trying to swing it like Raymond Floyd.
Wow.
And I came 6th in the Australian Open. And then a little bit later, my swing, I lost that feel.
Yeah.
Like Mo O'Hearn.
As you do.
The feel actually lasted a little bit longer because at Royal Melbourne at the Johnny Walker Classic the next week, I shot 70 in the first round and then 66 in the second round. And on the third round, I'm in the last group with Robert Allenby. Allenby shot 68, 66. I shot 70, 66, and we were leading the tournament.
There you go.
That's when the feel stopped. right there.
Oh, you hate it when it stops mid-tournament?
And that third round was a really windy, disgusting day.
Oh, yeah.
And Allenby shot a 68 like the wind wasn't even there, and I shot 76 or something. I ended up finishing 15th or something like that. But the feel ended. And then after Christmas, I finished 5th in the Australian Masters. And that week, I was trying to cross it at the top. I was trying to go across the line at the top, hit the ball like a dream for the whole week, finish 5th. World number 1 and world number 2 finished 6th and 7th, Greg Norman and Nick Price. So it was a big event. And I've played well trying to cross it like crazy. And that feel was gone on the Monday after the tournament.
Disappeared, yeah.
It disappeared. So feels, they come and they go. It's just hard to comprehend.
The worst time for feels to go is when you've played really well in a tournament and then here's an example.
Yeah.
Australian Masters, going almost back 20 years.
Yeah.
I think this might have been the year Allenby won all three. The Masters, the Open, and it started with, I think, the Masters because I know this because I shot 64, 66 first 2 rounds.
Wow.
And I was playing like a god. I mean, it was just, I'm
not
on
missing
fire.
a shot.
I've got the feel. I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
Halfway through Saturday, the field disappears.
Halfway through a round.
Halfway through a round. I was playing with Bubba Watson, funnily enough. Maybe it was because I was watching Bubba hit it sideways all over the place. He was on other fairways, basically, and still getting it around. It was an incredible display. And I might have just gone, oh, hang on. And I've lost the feel. And I managed to shoot. I managed to just get to the clubhouse, shot 70, couple under. But I know I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I know I'm in trouble. Final round, I've got Allenby, last group. I think I shot par or 1 over, and he shoots, I don't know, 3 or 4 under or whatever. And I think he beat Bubba Watson in a playoff in the end, and I missed by a couple. But if that feel had lasted, you go, oh, geez, it would have been fun.
That's right.
But at the same time, I should have been able to deal with it and get through it because that's what happens in golf. You're on this roller coaster. Sometimes you just going, riding the wave beautifully, and other times you're fighting to battle uphill, and
that's it.
It's a crazy game.
So
folks.
all these feels we're talking about, folks, sometimes you can do different things. It's all to create the same thing, which is the club coming from the right direction. You've got some space and time, and it makes it easy.
Mm-hmm.
And everything you do is trying to get you into that place where you've got space and time.
Yes.
And the club comes from the right direction.
Now, I got to ask, because we were talking about this earlier, and you said, no, I'm going to show you. There's a chopstick on the table here. What is all that about?
That's for my masterclass afterwards.
Okay.
It's got something to do with Peter Thompson. Right. It's got something to do...
You were talking about space. I'm thinking, okay, I wonder what that's about.
It's definitely got something to do with space. It's got a lot to do with Scotty Scheffler, who just based on his swing wouldn't get in the Kingston Heath Pennant team, and he's the number 1 player in the whole world. But it's also, what I'm doing as well. And, I trawl, I don't trawl through YouTube, but certainly stuff comes up, and I'm always interested to see how people think about the golf swing.
Yeah.
That's that chopstick. Okay. It's got a little bit to do with space.
Have a look. Mo O'Hearn's going to keep going.
Yeah.
Just to get back on that. But the thing is, I need to hit balls and practice with it.
Yeah.
If I'm just taking it out in the course, it's going to be. It could take some time, and unfortunately, over the next few weeks, I'm not practicing.
Okay, so tell me this: you lose 3 balls. I bet things probably came better towards the end of the round because I am like this.
it's funny. I think the last hole, it was like, right, I'm just going to swing and not think.
Yeah.
Flush.
Yeah.
And you go, I wish I could just keep playing. Did that happen to you?
Yeah, well, I was just going to show you my card from Saturday. So I give Max Charles. I give Max Charles the chipping lesson on Thursday. We arranged to play on Saturday. I'm absolutely certain I'm going to beat him.
Yeah.
Right? Because I've been doing all this stuff and, and there, you look at my card, look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 over.
9 over
with 3 to play.
Right.
And then, of course, 30, 16, 17 and 18. But
which are 3 of the hardest holes at Kingston.
Yeah, I know, but it just shows you that, when you don't want things to work when it's over.
No, that's very
You want
true.
things to work at the start.
What did Max shoot, by the way?
He shot the easiest 66 you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, my goodness. He's impressive.
I mean, the 2 par 5s in the back 9 were into the wind. He had driver and an iron to them both. I mean, it was just so beautiful to watch. It was just so beautiful to watch.
Love it.
Just before we go any further, a Charlie Woods watch update.
Right. Okay.
So I think at the start, when we started doing this podcast, I told you that Tiger Woods made sure that Charlie didn't have the big game help clubs. He gave his kid blades. Made sure that he was using a putter that wasn't a great big mallet. And that was all to do with finding the sweet spot. Charlie, of course, would have been playing against some of the best juniors in the country that would have had all kinds of game improvement stuff. And for a long, long time, Charlie was surprisingly, the way he swings the club, was ranked outside the top 600 in junior golf. Well, I can tell you this. He's had a little bit of success lately.
I saw he was, I saw something on socials about Tiger and his mum Elin out there watching him at a tournament
in a
Florida
high school
somewhere.
event. Yeah, the high school team won. He's still like a year 11. They call it a junior over there.
Okay.
So he's year 11. He's got one more year to go in high school. But before that, he won a very big AJGA event. He's been doing very, very well in the tournaments. And a couple of weeks ago, he was number 6 in the country. So he's gone from outside the top 600 to number 6. Currently, I just looked it up before, he's 9th in the country and he's a year 11. Now, that stays until he's just under 18. So he's got one more year to go. So it's not voyeuristic in me, but I am an admirer of this kid. Can you imagine the pressure everywhere he goes? Dad turning up, walking around, watching shots. There to encourage it, no doubt. But having to deal with the scrutiny and people like us talking about him. But I am now a huge admirer of Charlie Woods. We've always loved his swing. Tiger's advice was you have a backswing and a transition like me, but I want you to finish like Rory McIlroy, which is unbelievably wonderful headspace to be in. And when you watch Charlie swing, his balance is Rory McIlroy-like, and the fundamentals are just golden. I'm just so rapt that things are starting to turn for this kid.
As you say, the pressures around him will be fascinating as to how he handles that. I mean, we lived in the same area. We knew Elin and the kids, Sam and Charlie, early on. And I remember just hanging around with Charlie when he might have been, 5 or 6 years old or something like that. Athletically, incredibly talented. He just had an eye for ball sports, whatever he did, basketball and all that sort of thing. Obviously got into the game, but his attitude was very interesting as well. Very confident young man. So I don't think that's going to be an issue dealing with pressure and all that. Good. So given, his background and when you're immersed in it, when you're surrounded by it, he's, talking trash to Justin Thomas a little while back on the putting green. And I actually I saw JT just had back surgery too.
I did see that.
I think.
He announced it to the world. Something
like that, yeah. Well, I want to circle back to what you said about what Tiger gave him, blades and small sweet spot. At the DP World Tour this past week, they had a little mini driver, which was basically the size of a ball, a little bit bigger than a golf ball.
It was a tiny little thing.
Tiny thing.
Yeah, it was a sweet spot.
Rory McIlroy couldn't hit that further than 280 yards. So just, we're talking about, okay, how do we dial back the game a little? I tell you, these driver heads, just shrink those away. That's an extreme, obviously. Yeah. Imagine hitting that as a practice drill. and then going to your 460cc thing. Oh,
That's what I do with
So
my
good.
practice. I've got blades in my boot of the car, and
There
then
you
I use the T150s when I'm actually playing. I can still
okay.
just shoot 78. I'm going to get there, Nick. I'm going to get there. Hey, it's time for this week's BMW Touch of Class.
Driving a BMW is like hitting the perfect shot.
Well, that is pure magic.
Well, as you well know, Nick O'Hearn, after a round of golf, there's nothing like stepping into a BMW, and they bring us the Touch of Class today. Oh, Charlie could have been a contender, perhaps, but he obviously is not.
No, he got trumped.
He could have been, but it is my Touch of Class this week.
That's right.
And I know we talk about this guy a lot on the podcast. He is coming down to Australia to play the Australian Open, Rory McIlroy. His interview post-round after he lost the playoff to Fat Fitzpatrick, but Matt Fitzpatrick. Was just very special. You can see how much he loves the game and how emotional he gets, because he started talking about he just won his 7th race to Dubai, so now he's overtaken Seve. And he's one behind your favourite player, Colin Montgomery.
Right.
Okay, so he's chasing the 8 end-of-year titles. But
Monty won 8 in a row.
Yeah.
Humble
8 in a row. Well, 7 in a row, I think, or it might have been 8, but it's incredible. But the way he spoke about Seve and the reverence that he spoke about it, how he's, he's all they talk about at the Ryder Cup, his spirit. And he said he spoke to Carmen, Seve's widow, before he went out, and she said how proud he would have been if he does, win the title and all this. And it really was an absolute touch of class.
I haven't seen this.
Yeah.
It seems that no other golfer gets you quite as emotional as the mention of Seve. Why do you think that is?
I think it's just how much he means to European golf, how much he means to any player that's played in a European Ryder Cup team. I think Seve's spirit lives on in the European Tour and in the European Ryder Cup team, and he was always my dad's favorite player, and he's a beacon of what European golf stands for, and I just think about growing up and playing golf and my dad being such a big part of it, and then like his sort of connection to Seve, or Seve was the one that really got him inspired to play golf, and then to just, I don't know, I think it's just the parallels of that. But yeah, when I hear Seve, it just sort of brings me back through my whole journey in the game, and it makes me quite emotional.
Wow.
That is so good. I did not see that. It's just so nice to see people like him remembering.
Yeah.
Wish he was still here, Seve.
Oh, he was a legend.
I wish he was still around.
Absolute legend.
Well, that's a very worthy touch of class, thanks to our friends at BMW. Plenty of feedback today. We've got a big top 5 coming up as well. What's the top 5 on today?
It's my turn, and given last week you gave it top 5 things amateurs do that pros kind of laugh at.
Yes.
We
got
week,
some heat for that,
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that shortly. Yeah.
It's going to be the top 5 things I've seen pros do, which would kind of make you laugh. So,
okay.
All right.
I could just clean something up too. You were right. Colin Montgomery won 7 European titles in a row, and then he came back and won another one in 2005. So he's won 8, but 7 in a row. You were spot on. All right, we'll see you on the 10th tee.
From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is Talk Birdie Simi. We're here for BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Ping will help you play your best. The golf clearance outlet beat everyone's prices. And Betr is the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. Now, for Titleist, the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. Here's Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen.
Welcome to the 10th tee, and it's time for the Betr top 5. Just speaking of Betr, look, the odds were good, whatever it was, $31.
It's very good.
We just missed with Rory.
Rory was unlucky.
Just missed with Penge. He came back after the first round.
He shot 74 first day, and I thought, oh, gosh.
Wow.
And he actually, I think he said afterwards, he said, look, sorry to the people who came and watched because I was not disgraceful, but he didn't play very well.
Yeah,
so.
And poor old Elvis just never got moving, did he?
No, he was back in, I think he finished 42nd in the end. So, yeah, tough one.
You know, I think the thing with Elvis is his preparation was flawed. And if I think back to his preparation,
really,
he was on the Gold Coast. He did some preparation with a tour pro, didn't he, Mark? Who was the guy? Who was that Aussie guy?
Mo.
Mo O'Hoo.
Yeah, he did some preparation on the Gold Coast with Nick O'Hearn.
Hey, he shot the easiest 66 I've ever seen on the Gold Coast. He was playing great. Stop blaming me. Anyway.
All right, time for this week's Top 5.
Thanks to Better when the greats bet.
Top 5. The Top 5 for Better. When the greats bet, they bet with Better.
Top 5.
Nick, what is it today?
All right, Top 5 more unusual things you see pros do. Amateurs probably aren't going to laugh at them because they probably try it themselves, but very unusual things that I've seen over the years. Now,
this is good.
One of the most unusual things, I remember when DeMarco started putting the way he did. Remember, he sort of gripped it this way and went that way, but I could go with all the claw grips. I'm not going to do that.
Well, the claw grip was off the charts
It was.
crazy the first time I saw it.
Now it's common.
Now good players are doing it.
Funny.
Now good putters are doing it. Mickelson, Fleetwood.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing the Chris DeMarco.
Well, a couple of these things I don't think people are going to do. But anyway,
okay. All right.
Number 5 is something that I did. Switch hands. Very simple.
Yep.
And Yani Seng, remember she won the other day putting left-handed. Brad King used to do it.
Yep.
Nota Begay sort of started things where he'd putt right one way, left hand the other, depending on the break. But it certainly helps with the yips if you've ever got that switch sides when you're putting.
Hitting one way
By the way,
putting the other.
I think I solved another guy, Shepparton, the other day.
The yips?
He had the yips.
Turned him into a left-handed
Turned
putter?
him the other way, and I think he's good. So
You're on a roll with that.
We're on a roll, I tell you.
You're on a roll.
We're on a roll. So that's number 5. Number 4, guy who won the Open Championship and the Masters was doing this drill at one point, on the golf course. Now, I've done it as a practice drill where you go, take it back, pause, kind of look at it, bring it back, and then go. That's where my waggle came from.
Yeah.
But Sandy Lyle did this in tournaments.
Oh, that's right.
Where he would go back, pause, and then he'd just go again.
That's it.
It was like a, it was like a double clutch in basketball.
We used to take people to Augusta every year, and I thought, I'll just go watch Sandy because he was the biggest flushing man you've ever seen in your whole life.
Yeah.
I thought, I'll just go see how he's into these days. And he got half back and stopped. I thought, oh, he's frozen. And then he started from there. It was straight, and then he flushed it, and he absolutely crushed it down the middle.
Still a flusher. Yeah, it's funny how those things work.
How does that work?
I don't know. Anyway, that's number 4. Number 3, another practice drill by another, world-class golfer, one of the best short games you'll ever see, Peter Chucky Fowler. We had him on the pod probably a year or two ago now. I think we'll have to get him back on actually because I want him to talk about this. But he used to do a preset drill. I think I played with him at Royal Queensland over 20 years ago where he would you know how the preset drill where you'd set up and then
you
you
do a
just
big waggle.
You just sort of set your arms and the shaft would be parallel with the ground. You kind of get the club face and everything where you want it to be.
Parallel with the target line.
Yeah, and then you'd hit balls doing that. It's a practice drill. He did that in golf tournaments.
Yes.
It was one of the most amazing, and every now and then he'd do a little double pump as well with it.
That's right.
Most amazing things I've seen on the golf course.
I played with him one year where he wasn't letting his back foot off the ground.
Yep, I remember that.
He would follow through and his back foot was still on the ground. Yeah, he was quite famous for some of the crazy stuff he was doing.
No, it was. So that's number 3. Number 2, I help a young pro in the US who's playing on the Asian Tour these days, gets a bit of a mention, Austin Truslow, one-handed chipping.
Yes.
One-handed and chips with the right hand. Now, early on, we looked at his two-handed chipping and yes, he did have the yips, but we realised he only needs to be a good chipper. He doesn't need to be a great chipper and he chips perfectly fine one-handed. Now, he can't hit certain shots with one hand, like when you really need to get a spinner or something like that. So he has to either open up the face and hit flop shots when he has those ones.
Or bounce it through a fringe.
I don't think that's too bad.
Yeah.
It might be tough on the one hopper, I don't know. But anyway, he doesn't miss many greens anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but that's a more bizarre thing you'll see. And then number 1 is...
But then that's 12 weeks in a row, by the way, that Austin Truslow has got a mention on this podcast.
I don't think you got a mention
12 weeks
last
in a
week.
row.
Anyway, Might have had a week off last week. He's got a week off this week, yeah, actually. Anyway, number one is years ago saw it. It was David Armstrong, and now we've seen it with Adam Schenk, the one-handed putting. I don't think the one-handed putting in the chipping is going to catch on that much.
No.
So,
but he's
practice drill, it's great.
He won a US Tour event
won a tournament.
in the worst conditions you've ever seen a US Tour event played in, putting one-handed sometimes.
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 And sometimes he did it this way and sometimes he did it that way. I was watching his shoulders because the shoulders are always a giveaway with people who are struggling. And honestly, he would set up kind of weird and then it'd be the big look as he's putting and the ball still kept going in, especially on short putts. It didn't seem to be much flinching, so I don't know what's going on.
One stage too, he set up with one hand and then he kind of put his head behind the ball like trying to line it up differently. Did you see that?
Yes.
It was really weird. Like that's what my kid does.
He's kind of go.
He has trouble lining it up like we all do, but so he tries to kind of.
Okay.
Don't do that, mate. For Christ's sakes.
Here's another one we could have added to your list from last week. It just reminded me.
Yeah, go on.
Give me that 7-iron for a second. I'm just going to put it on the table.
We're going to get more.
So the ball's here, and what people do is they set the putter head behind it, and then they go.
That's it.
And they go behind and they have a look.
That's what Schenk was doing.
Schenk did that. I didn't know he was doing that.
He didn't go all the way behind.
Yeah, but they would go all the way behind and then try and keep the club there.
Does.
It's like, I'm sorry, people, but the club face changes when you get back over the ball. So there's
Have
another one.
Have you seen those putters that stand up by themselves so you can actually do it?
You can do that, can't you?
You can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
They do look weird, those putters.
They are weird.
They are.
Yeah, they are weird.
Yeah. That's the top five, Nick.
That's it. No more.
Should we address briefly the controversy of last week's top five?
Oh, I think it's worthy of its own show.
It was your top five, so
it was my top five.
It was top 20 actually.
That pros laugh at amateurs about.
So we're about to go into feedback. Now we're not going to talk about that in feedback today. And I just want to explain why we're not going to, because we've had so much feedback that we think it's worth a mini all on its own.
Yes,
which we will do later in the week.
Mini Mark Whack.
If you've, you're involved too, Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay. You were laughing along, Nick.
You were the cheerleader on the sideline.
Yeah, that's right. You were cheerleading the whole thing.
Mark, I think Nick was probably the protagonist.
Mate,
I mean,
honestly,
first of all, he's put the moz on Elvis Smiley, and now he's put the moz on the top five.
We should have just given him some pom-poms and been done with it.
Yeah.
Talk Birdie feedback. Thanks to Southern Golf Club.
Feedback, boys. As we say, we'll do one later in the week on last week's top five. But Nick, you were in Shepparton a couple of days ago, and you solved some guys chipping yips by your own admission just before.
Putting,
Putting, I think. Yeah,
which is good. Mm-hmm. And you also found a photo that Mark had talked about, or the honour board. Not a photo. You sent a photo. Of the honour board with Mark's mother on it.
That is correct. Yeah, I was there for the Shepparton Corporate Cup, and I found Mrs. G. Allen. G.G. Allen, sorry.
So my dad's name was Gary George Allen. So Mum wins a club championship and she gets Mrs. G.G. Allen put up there in I think it was 1969 or 1968.
Yeah,
it was one of those, probably 68. Anyway, Mum was absolutely chuffed.
Yeah.
She sent me a little message.
Brilliant.
So good on you, Mum.
Very famous name, just slightly to the left and down a little bit too.
Yes.
What's that?
Lyle.
Yes, Jared, the best player ever to come out of Shepparton. Just got me.
Just got you. Just got you.
Mate, I was number one then until Jared Lyle came along.
Hey, it's the same with me at Mount Lawley. I was the best player to come out of Mount Lawley.
Until?
Hannah Green came along.
Bugger.
So we had a bunch of comments on that. Stephen has said, I love casting a reflective eye over the honour boards when I visit any club, the gold lettering and all. It's a shame that we no longer have them at my home club to honour some of those past achievements. They do look great, those honour boards, aren't they?
They're great.
Yeah, they're so good.
And the good clubs, you know what the good clubs do?
What?
They have the gold letter writing person there straight after the win.
Ah.
So they not only do they engrave a trophy that's engravable, but the gold letters are up before you finish your coffee.
So good.
Yeah, it's so fabulous, that sort of stuff.
Message from Lynn. I loved playing against Val. She was a terrific player, as was Gary.
Yeah.
Mark is okay too. That honour board's interesting. Both Val and Doreen Bodsworth moved to Melbourne and joined Huntingdale. Doreen was my Melbourne mum and was to many country girls playing tournaments in Melbourne. She had a lot of full houses. Also on that honour board, many times, will be Joyce Broadbent and Joyce Ellsworthy, the same person.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with the comment about the archaic names on the board. When I won my first club championship at Kingston Heath as a married lady, I insisted on having my initials and not my husband's. That's from Lynn Brown.
Yeah, Lynn's won the club championship at Kingston Heath about 100 times.
Oh,
Good on you, Lynn. She just got beaten again this year in the final by Olivia.
I love that she insisted on her name being there, not her husband's. That's really
that's pretty standard. The lady she mentioned, though, Doreen Bodsworth, she was a mum to so many country girls, including my mum, when they came to Huntingdale.
She's kind of billeted them, did she, or looked after them?
Yeah, you just played golf with them.
Oh, okay, right.
And when mum and my dad couldn't play with me as a 12-year-old, Doreen would play with me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Doreen looked after me a little bit as well. So, Doreen was an amazing person to so many country golfers.
A lot of feedback on Gary Player, heaps and heaps. We won't go through all of it, but one comment here from Charlie that I thought was really nice. Charlie said, I don't care what anyone says about Gary. He was brilliant when I met him. I was alone on a driving range at Sun City. It was about 5:30 in the morning and I was trying to hit some balls as I'd only just started to play golf. A few moments later, a chap arrived on the range, came over to me, introduced himself as Gary. Of course, I knew who he was. And at the time, I was a 120 keg rugby player and he sat with me and gave me a golf lesson for about an hour. Oh. He was calling me Arnold because I was trying to pulverize the ball. It was a fantastic time. He was a gentleman and he did that out of enthusiasm and kindness with nobody else there to witness what he did. People can say whatever they want about Gary, but I saw the man that he is.
Brilliant.
Isn't that sensational?
So good. There's so many stories like that.
Yeah. That is great. It's very nice people do that. I reckon a lot of pros, lots, actually can't help themselves when they see somebody struggling and they could fix them like that.
Yep.
It's amazing how often someone will just pop over and just say, hey, listen, just do this, will you? You're killing me. They'll do it in a nice way, but a lot of professionals will help. It's great that he's not like Gary Player.
Comment here from Drew.
Oh, yeah.
Mark.
This sounds familiar.
No, I think this
ex-caddy of yours.
Drew Dublin, by the sounds of it. Yes.
This is a comment that may need some explanation.
Yeah, go on.
One part anyway.
Yep.
Drew has said, this is in response to your discussion about what you paid caddies last week. Drew has said, Mark paid me well and always looked after me. Absolutely no regrets. And more importantly, Mark taught me a lot of life lessons, which I can't disclose in this forum.
That's interesting, Drew. At least I'm glad that he was happy with the pay. Good on you, Drew.
Well done.
Good work, Drew.
He's nice avoiding the question there, Mark, or the comment.
Well, there was lots of lessons that he did. Well, he was so young. You know, can I tell you a quick story about Drew?
Please.
A really quick one. I liked Drew as a kid, and I saw him. I must have seen him caddying for somebody in a West Australian Open, and
you chiseled.
Well, I don't think it was a formalised relationship, the person, but I thought Drew was great, and I asked my caddy to run out. And the first tournament of the year, I've flown him to South Australia, and I've got the caddies to look after him because he's not staying with me, right? Even though he's 18 years old, I've told the parents, I said, he can't stay with me. He's going to stay with the other caddies. So I got Shags.
Oh, yeah, of course.
To look after him. So
Yeah.
I told him, I said, listen, he's going to caddy for me. He can't stay with me. Can he stay with you? And can you show him everything?
Yep.
This poor kid turned up on Tuesday morning as green as green. The caddies took him away and they got him absolutely drunk and poleaxed. And I reckon he threw up on about the third hole of the day, and he learned his lesson.
No.
And he learned his lesson.
At least it was on a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday, that's right. He
Wasn't a
did turn up on a
Thursday to
Thursday,
Sunday.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
that happened later on in our relationship.
Well, that might have been some of the life lessons, I'm sure.
He's a superstar, Drew. A very good kid.
You guys were talking about the Yas course last week in the United Arab Emirates,
Yes.
and about the lack of trees, Mark, was a point that you made, how it could be improved with some trees.
Yeah, just a couple.
Yeah. Paul from Ireland wrote in. Paul has said, the Montgomery course at Carlton House Island, inland link style course, always thought it could also do with a dozen trees to add definition to the course.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Mark.
Yeah. It's funny, Carnoustie, you think of it as a links course, but there's some holes out the back that just have these pines.
Yes.
Just a couple. And even though it's a links course, What was the description he said there?
He called it an inland links style course.
But what did the trees do for it?
Added definition.
I think it does add just a little bit of definition. You can still keep what you're trying to do, which is not many trees, but just some, like Taredi. It does. It just adds to it.
Yeah, I played an Irish Open there at Carlton House. I thought it did have trip. Maybe it didn't. Trying to remember, but designed by Monty, so probably didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thanks to Southern Golf Club. That is the feedback, and we will come back in a couple of days with a feedback pod specifically around last week's top 5.
Right.
For now, we could do without that kind of behaviour, Nico.
Yeah.
You will put our podcast license at risk. For people listening,
somehow I don't think so.
For people listening, not watching, Nick has been rubbing his chest area.
I know Mark. Anyway,
only when I'm excited does the chest area get a
Last week he almost did. On the DP World Tour, it was their Tour Championships on the Jumeirah Earth course there in Dubai.
I want to go play it. I want to go play that course.
Yeah, it did look good.
Yeah.
It's a Greg Norman design.
Is it?
Yeah. That 18th hole looks fascinating with the creek splitting the fairway. You got to make a decision. Do you go up the right? Do you take it short left?
Not many people can make the decision to go right. I've got to say.
I know a few can, like Rory, and
Yeah.
it was a typical Rory event. Funnily enough, he had a 2-shot lead with 6 holes to go. Then he made a bogey on 12, and then on 16, the par 4, he hits it in the fairway bunker. One of the bunkers I thought wasn't in play for him, by the way. We spoke about that in our better pod, but. He was in there and he had about 160 yards to the green, water on the right and short. And Radar, the commentator's going, well, he has to lay this up. I mean, this is stupid if he goes for it. Guess what? He went for it.
And?
Fatted it. And it finished between the bunker and the water. He got really lucky there. Made a bogey, but then he eagled the last.
Yeah, I saw the eagle.
As he does. It's just a typical Rory event. You just never know what's going to happen.
I was fascinated with the eagle. He had a yardage where it's a 4-iron yardage. Even though it's uphill, it's a 4-iron yardage. He took the 5-wood.
Little floaty 5-wood.
One. Yeah, it was good.
No, it was pretty impressive. But he lost in a playoff, obviously, to Matt Fitzpatrick. Hit it in the water in the playoff, but it didn't really matter by then anyway. It created all the drama. But what a year it's been, right? Grand Slam, 7th round race to Dubai title. He's up there in the history books now.
He's had 3 of his big wins this year in playoffs too. I thought he was going to win that one. It was going to be his 4th win. So in the Masters, can I see if you can remember who he beat?
Justin Rose.
Yep. The Irish Open, I don't remember who he beat. But in the Players' Championship, he beat someone who won a major as well.
JJ Spawn.
That's right. So I thought he was going to have 4 playoff wins this year when he was up against Matty Fitz.
He also got a trophy named after himself, the Rory McIlroy Award.
Did he?
Which now goes to the best European performance over the 4 majors. That's the award.
Nice.
Can't win it himself, which is fair enough, right? Can't win it himself.
No, well,
that'll be an award. Man, he's only, 36, 37? He's already got a trophy named after
Well, I think
him.
that's what happened when you get a career Grand Slam.
Well, he's the greatest
start doing stuff like
European
that.
player ever now, easily, right?
Yeah, well, the career Grand Slam,
that
pretty much wipes everybody off the...
Pretty much.
He's the only one.
Yeah. Best of the Australasians was Daniel Hillier, tied for 16th. Didn't quite get the PGA Tour card. Remember they had 10 cards up for grabs.
Just missed.
Elvis Smiley and Kazuma Kobori tied for 42nd.
Elvis just missed as well.
He was a little way out. I think he ended up finishing 20 on the order of merit.
Yeah, I think I sent you a slide, Dan. Put the slide up.
Okay.
That I sent.
Oh, for the 10 tour cards.
Yeah, they took out everybody.
Everyone who wasn't exempt.
Wasn't exempt. And when you look at it, I saw Elvis's name there.
So who we got? Number 1 is Marco Penge, Laurie Cantor, Christopher Wrighton. Watch that name next year because this guy, he's a Danish or Norwegian player. Look out for him.
Where's Elvis's name on that list?
He's down at number 15. So he was 5 spots out.
Five spots out of the players who are eligible to get 10 cards.
The other guy to look out for, Rasmus Niergaard Pedersen, a Danish golfer. My goodness.
Wow.
Ping player too, so really impressive.
He played great with Rory as well.
He did. See that shot in the last year? He gave Rory a read, by the way.
Yeah, gave Rory a beautiful read.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I was impressed with, what's his name, Niergaard Pedersen?
Niergaard Pedersen.
Niergaard Pedersen.
Niergaard Pedersen.
God.
Really impressive.
What a good little player.
Indeed. All right, on the PGA Tour, they had the Butterfield Bermuda Classic, I think it was called, something like that. Anyway, Adam Schenk That was quite the win. He held about a 4.5 footer on the last after missing one the same length on the previous hole. So they could, well,
Mate.
for a guy who struggles with his putting,
A
but it was
miracle.
impressive.
A
First win in
miracle.
242 starts.
Is
for
it the
Schenk.
first person to win on the PGA Tour putting one-handed every once in a while?
I would imagine so.
I can't think of anybody else.
I can't think of anyone winning putting one-handed on any tour. Can you?
No.
Other than maybe David Armstrong might have done. I don't know.
No. Well,
but,
David Armstrong, he won a Victorian PGA like back in 86 or 87. But I'm pretty sure he was putting two-handed then.
Two-handed then, yeah. In second spot was Chandler Phillips, which was a great story. He went from 139 to 92, so now he's in the top 100. And we've only got one event remaining, so they're obviously playing for a lot over there.
Yep.
The only Aussie to play was Harrison Endicott, tied for 52nd. The LPGA, they were in Florida for the Annika tournament. Great to see Annika Sorensen out there. And Swedish golfer, funnily enough, won. Lynn Grant shot a 65 to win her Heroes event. The 3-shot win over Jennifer Kupcho. Best of the Aussies was Grace Kim, tied for 9th. Cara Davidson tied for 13th. And Hannah Green tied for 15th. 4 Aussies now advanced to the Tour Championship, the CME Tour Championship, which is Minjee Lee, Hannah Green, Grace Kim and Steph Kyriakou, which is the top 60, I think it is. A couple of good little storylines at the end there. Lucy Lee had to birdie the last hole to get into the top 60. Tough finishing hole there. Nails. Just hits it to 6 feet, bang, straight in. And the other girl, Natalia Guseva, the first Russian to play on the LPGA Tour, holds a wedge on the last hole for birdie to get into the Tour Championship. Incredible.
Hold a wedge?
Hold a wedge. Yeah, she had
on
to
the
pitch,
72nd?
Pitch out and then holds a wedge for a third for a birdie.
Holy dog.
Incredible. Anyway, Asian Tour, they had the Taiwan Open where Thai golfer Ekpharat Wu had a 2-shot win over Chen Yao Hung from Chinese Taipei. Best of the Aussies, Todd Sinnott, tied for 15th. Champions Tour, they had the finale of the Charles Schwab Cup where we thought Steve Alker was going to take it home again. Stewart, kitchen sink, got the 2-shot win.
I saw.
You watched it?
I turned it on at the wrong time.
Really?
And
What
Elka
happened?
was just starting to fritter some shots away.
He had the lead, didn't he?
He 3-putted from 8 feet on about the 12th hole, and that was it.
That's unlike him. Wow.
It's him. I've never seen him 3-putt ever.
No.
But the 3-putt from 8 feet was. I just, like I said, I'd get up and just turn it on, and that's the first thing I saw. I thought, oh God.
But Sink was number 3 on the Charles Schwab Cup listings. He went to number 1. So he won both trophies. He won the final tournament and I think it's $1 million bonus, whatever it is. So well done to him. Steve Alker was second, obviously. The other best of the Aussies was Stephen Allen, Cameron Percy tied for 10th, and Greg Chalmers and Richard Green tied for 17th.
Right.
New South Wales Open, they were at the Vintage Golf Club where Chris Wood defeated James Marcazzani and Will Florimo in a playoff, which took 4 holes. Chris Wood was apparently considering retiring. He's going to go work in the mines at the end of the year. But now he just wins the 3rd biggest event on the Aussie schedule, I think it is.
It was $100 and something thousand dollars
a lot of money.
for winning the thing. Saw James Marcazzani. Still hasn't had a win in Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah. That's
He
what the
seems to always be
commentators were
up
saying.
there.
Anyway,
Okay.
he's won in China, but he's never won here. I was pretty sure he was going to win. I just had that feeling. But did you see what happened on about the 3rd playoff hole?
I didn't.
He hit a perfect drive and just a decel. He decelerated on a shorter shot and chunked it and didn't get up and down.
No, that happens, unfortunately. He needed to formalise his acceleration mark.
I need to. Well, it's funny enough. The reason I was watching James Marcazzani because I used to help him a little bit when he was a little kid as well.
Okay.
And we used to just do chipping.
Right.
But maybe he does need to formalise his acceleration.
Maybe. Lastly, last week we spoke about the DP World Tour Q School going on where Conor McKinney had a good chance to get his card and he got the number 4 card, which is awesome. Well done to him.
Well done.
Jack Buchanan, unfortunately, just missed out by a couple of shots, but he'll get probably full Challenge Tour or Hotel Planet Tour
We
status.
need more kids on that.
The winner was South African Xander Lombard. 6-round tournament. How many shots do you think he won by? I've never seen this.
6.
13. Had a 13-shot win over Conor McKinney and about 3 others.
Bloody hell. Are you kidding me?
That's 37 under par. That's some
that is
golf,
ridiculous.
isn't it? In one of the toughest weeks of your life as a pro golfer is Q School.
Okay.
And he wins by 13.
They're going well, the South Africans. I saw they won the
Impressive.
Eisenhower Cup as well, which is the biggest men's amateur tournament, team tournament in the world. So they're going okay.
Pretty handy. They're following after Gary Player's footsteps, and that is this week's Ping Global results.
Well, thanks to Ping, because they will help you play your best. Now, the Masterclass, Mark, your turn today. You do have that very suspicious chopstick over there. So I'm assuming it means something.
This chopstick is going to revolutionise the way we practice So just get ready. You might mock the chopstick.
I do like my Asian food, so I got plenty of chopsticks lying around.
You guys can mock the stick, but I promise you, well, it's not the stick. You will come to love the chopstick. Ooh. I can guarantee you that. Rightio, Nicholas, time for this week's masterclass. It's a little bit of what I'm trying to do, a little bit of what I suspect you need as well.
Yeah,
Mo O'Hearn
always
over
need
there.
some space.
Well, every once in a while you watch YouTube and little things pop up. I want you to play the Peter Thompson. Now, you can see there's Peter Thompson years and years ago. That's at Royal Melbourne. Look at the tea tree behind the green there.
That's 5 West, isn't it?
Probably a little bit too much tea tree. Anyway, but for those who are listening in the car, they've got lines on his backside, and Peter Thompson is just starting to take the club away. And you can see that his right buttock starts to turn back and moves outside the original line. Now, it's a very good shot. It's in the perfect spot. Maybe the camera's a little bit high, but the camera doesn't move. And you can see Pete there, and his right buttock moves beyond the line that's drawn.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And if you keep on watching, when he starts to come down, the right buttock stays outside that line. So you can see that his hips are staying well away from actually where they started.
Okay.
Thus giving him quite a lot of space, to come through the ball.
Okay.
Now, then the next thing I see is a little bit of a video, and it's Randy Smith and Scotty Scheffler.
Okay.
Now, I think we probably need to listen to this one, Dan. So as we play this, I want you to listen to it. I think there's some good information there, and then I'll tell you what this chopstick's all about.
Okay.
So when I want to use my regular clubs, like if I'm just hitting balls, you could literally just take the pencil and stick it in the top of any grip.
If someone, for example, is like laid off at the top, they could try to point it back behind them in the direction that your tendency is, right? So it's like whatever your fault is, you can use this as a visual to help correct the backswing.
But I think the byproduct, when he's swinging back through and you got this stick coming around the corner right here, you will stay back a little bit better and stay in posture.
I'm never going to actually hit this during my swing.
Sure.
Like this, if I did, it would really hurt, first of all, but it's just a feeling. Like, so you can kind of feel and see where that is. And same way on the way through, just because the club's longer, like you said, instinctively, I'm going to get it up and out of the way.
Can we see you hit some balls with this?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm slightly afraid for you right now.
Yeah, me too. I'm a little cold. Stand back.
Rightio. So if you're listening in the car wondering what it's all about, I'm about to tell you, but if you were watching on YouTube, Scotty Scheffler actually has a club where he's got 6 inches of shaft coming out the top end of the grip. So it's just one long shaft. He was talking about a pencil there. He was putting a pencil in the grip. Now, a pencil, in my view, will probably stuff up the hole in your grip.
Maybe.
But a chopstick is just the right size. Now, you were trying this before we came on. You put the chopstick in there, and what Randy Smith was talking about, it does give you a visual. You want this chopstick kind of pointing at the ball. So if you had a what do you call those sticks? An alignment stick next to the ball, you kind of want the chopstick pointing at that alignment stick all the way until you get to the top. But the Randy Smith part, that's the thing that interests me, because he was suggesting that what it does to you is it, because you're scared of the chopstick going into your stomach, that you will keep your hips back. Thus giving you space. And that's why I was showing the Peter Thompson. Now, Peter Thompson played effortless golf his entire career. And if I turn it up, the commentator who was analysing Tomo's swing was saying it's probably the best leg action he's ever seen.
Wow.
And that's because he naturally just created all this space, and his hands and arms would just beautifully drop in naturally to this space. You can hear this guy is just a YouTuber analysing it. Some make sense, some don't. This guy made sense. But for those of us who don't have the ability to walk into the tour van and say, hey, listen, can you make me a club with 6 inches of shaft? The chopstick in the end. Now, when you set up, you can obviously move the chopstick in and out of the grip.
Depending on how much
Just move
room
it
you want.
to about an inch away from your body.
Yep.
And you were doing it before, weren't you? I'm going to have a swing with that. Showed the people on YouTube.
Okay.
But
it does make me want to get out of the way.
Well, it does mentally give you this picture. Yeah, that's perfect. You can see the chopstick in there. You might have to adjust it just a little bit. Yeah, right. And when you make a swing, now naturally on the way down, you are going to keep those hips out of the way. Yeah, that's right. All righty. So I think it's a beautiful field, particularly as you get older. Now, as we get older, Nick, you and I didn't have to worry too much about space, did we, when we were young? Because you're just so flexible. You can stay in your posture lines and all that kind of stuff. But I think as you do get older, I think it is more difficult. And it's something I know when I feel like I've got space, that's when I play my best golf.
Well, Mo O'Hearn's going to go give that a try as well.
Well, now you're going to be Mo Scheffler.
Yeah.
A little bit of Mo, a little bit of Scheffler. Look, folks, it's a crazy game. We're always working on stuff. And like we were talking about right off the top of the program, fields come and go. So you're always looking for new things to create the same intention.
Well, finally, we were talking, you saw Peter Thompson at Royal Melbourne. I'm playing there this week, so hopefully I get a nice feel out there on Royal Melbourne West. Can't wait.
I'm very interested to hear how the fringes are going.
I'm sure they're good. We'll find out.
Let's fingers crossed. I know I'm playing there this week as well.
Oh, you are?
So we'll compare notes next week. All right, folks, we'll see you next time.
Talk Birdie to Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen comes live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our fantastic partners, Titleist is the clear #1 ball in golf. FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Ping, they'll help you play your best. Better, the fastest and easiest betting app in Australia. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and maybe leave a review. Talk Birdie Sydney's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media, with sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie Sydney.